Hi guys, it's Vix from New Age Hipster and I'm here today to show you the New Age Hipster Insta Oracle. This is like a little project of mine that has kind of taken on a bit of a life of its own. This was something that I just kind of made, but lots of people seem to be really into it, so I thought I would make this little video just showing you guys what it is, some ways to use it, and how you can get it, which is on my store on my website. The link is below. Okay, so it comes in this little bag with a New Age Hipster pin on it, which you are so welcome to leave on the bag so you know what this is. Otherwise you can take it off and you can put it on your denim shirt or your denim jacket, or whatever. You can do whatever you want with it. So this is it. It's basically, it's a 50 card deck. And it is, these are the card backs. It's basically my Instagram photos made into a deck. So a lot of these are like my actual Instagram photos. Some of them are like my Facebook photos from trips that I've taken, from cool days out. They're taken from like all over the world as well, which I think is kind of cool. You know, kind of a little story of my life. So the whole idea behind this deck was that it was going to be an intuitive deck. I am a massive believer in using our intuition when we're using divination tools. You don't have to do divination with this deck. You can do pretty much whatever you want. But I very rarely read the little white books that come with the decks. I usually just flip through them, see if there are any cool spreads or anything in there, and then they either go in the recycling, they go in a box never to be looked at again, or they just stay in with the deck, but I very rarely look at them. There are of course exceptions to that rule that I have. If I'm working with a deck that's a little bit different from the Rider-Waite-Smith, or if I'm working with, you know, an oracle deck that's new to me, I, you know, very often look at the book and read the book's descriptions and everything like that. But the way that I read most of the time is intuitively, and I really wanted to have a little deck that, you know, the truth is I made this for me, really. It's really just like a deck to use your intuition with. So I'll show you some of the cards so you can get the vibe. So I'll tell you a little bit about some of the cards, but I really want people to use this deck from the place wherever it feels like it needs to come from for you, right? So this is the Orb card, and this was taken actually while I was visiting my parents, and I just saw this amazing orb. I don't know how we can see it in the video, but it was so purple. I was like, oh my god, it's so purple. So I took a picture of it, and yeah, and I made a card of it because for me, orbs are all about connecting with the spirit world, right? When you see an orb, it's like, it can be whatever you think it is. It can be an angel, it can be a passed over loved one watching over you, it can be a sign if you've been asking for a sign, it can be so many different things. But there is definitely a power in orbs that I love, that I captured in this picture. Then we've got Standing Stone, and this was actually taken at Avebury Stone Circles, which is one of my favourite places in the whole entire world. The vibes there are unreal. If you haven't been, like, do go if you get the chance, because it's amazing. Stonehenge is cool, Stonehenge is really cool, but there's something about Avebury that's just like, whoa, it's amazing. So the Standing Stone can be whatever you need it to be. It can be about, you know, standing strong, standing your ground. It can be about grounding your energy. It can be about, you know, staying still where you are, not making any big changes. It can be about anything at all, anything that you want. So I'm not going to go through and just tell you my definitions and some of my thoughts on these cards, because I think it's really important for all of us to be working with intuitive tools in our own way. And I actually had spent 2 days creating a guidebook to go with this deck, which contained a whole bunch of card meanings, keywords, I'd written down like crystal associations and ascended masters that go with each card, and the internet pretty much lost most of it. And then after that happened, I kind of, you know, reconnected with the idea of the deck and what I was really trying to do with it. And it seemed really strange to me actually that I've been sitting there writing a little white book when I don't ever really use them, and I don't really think they're that important. So I changed the guidebook completely. There is a guidebook that comes with this. It's an e-guidebook. So if you do purchase it, you'll get that in your email. And it's basically just a book that tells you a little bit more about the deck. It's got some spreads and stuff in there and some other ideas of what you can do with it. So I'm not going to show you all the cards. So not going to show you all the cards, but you get the gist, right? This is a deck that is not, it's not even necessarily woo-woo. Like, there's an angel's card in here and an orb in here, but there's nothing in here that's like, you know, spiritual or woo-woo. It's really just pictures of stuff, and you know, it's up to you and your intuition to work out what that means in the moment. I am going to do a little reading for us. I'm just going to pull one card and just show you how I use the deck intuitively. And if, you know, if you do purchase this deck, which would be so crazy because I can't believe people actually want to use it. It's self-published. I just printed like a handful of decks myself. I didn't print them myself, like I'm not a printer, but I got a printer to print 20 decks for me. And I kind of thought, you know, if people don't like them, I'll just give them away to friends or whatever. And since then, I think I've sold like 65. There's pre-orders available at the moment, so if you want a pre-order, I will be like getting a whole bunch more printed at some point. But yeah, this was never supposed to be like a big thing. This was never supposed to be something like people really wanted. I just thought, oh, I'll send a few out there, you know, like it's a little side project, something a little extra to have on my Etsy store. But yeah, I'm blown away that people actually want it. So if you do want one, check the links below and check out the pre-order situation. Okay, so I think this is our card. Yes, it is. Okay, so just sort of like tuning in for a message for all of us. The burrito card really speaks of connection, friendship, supporting each other. I feel like this is coming up for me right now because I feel so amazingly supported by you guys in my work that people actually want to buy this deck. And I also feel like there's a message coming through about the nature of this deck, the nature of my work, but also the nature of spirituality in general, that it does not have to be, it does not always have to be very serious and all about, you know, serious rituals and decks that, you know, you have to look at symbolism of them from, like, you know, reading history books about symbolism and all of that kind of stuff. All of that stuff has its place, and I'm a pretty big tarot nerd, like I'm into that stuff too, but I really believe that we're moving into a new age and that we don't need to pore over the little white books as much as perhaps we did at one point. We're now in this amazing era where we can look at a picture of a burrito and get a download from our guides about what that means for us today. And I'll tell you what my Ascended Master association is with this card, and please create your own. But mine is Jesus, and I see the burrito card as the breaking of bread, and the drinking of wine is actually a Corona in the background. But I really see it as that, like a sacred experience of sharing a meal with people, you know, and it's a burrito and beer, and it's bread and wine, and it's whatever it is for you in your life. But yeah, so that was just a little tiny look at the New Age Hipster Insta Oracle. If you would like to grab one, the deets are below on how you can do that. They are only available for pre-order at the moment. And I don't know how many I'm going to get printed. I'll probably get some spare ones printed because people seem to be digging them. They are also amazing. I just did a reading for myself this morning. I did a Celtic cross for myself with the Cosmic Tarot. Some cards are still out. With the Cosmic Tarot, and I put one of these cards next to each of the tarot cards that I pulled, and it was a really, really good reading. Like, it was really helpful. It really helped me. The Four of Wands, I actually posted this on Instagram today as well. I pulled with the self-love card, and you know, the Four of Wands is very often seen as like the marriage card, right? In this deck, I love that it's just her, and I love that the self-love card came up with that. It spoke so much to me about, you know, what this card actually really means at this time. So if you're a tarot reader, or if you're starting out with tarot and you need something to kind of help you a little bit with your tarot readings, then this deck will totally do that. But so will other oracle decks too. Like, have a go at that anyway. Even if you know, you don't want to get this deck, try out your other oracles with your tarot cards. Okay guys, that's it from me and the New Age Hipster Insta Oracle, and I will see you guys in the next video. Loads and loads of love and light.